Hello everyone, welcome to another day in the 100 days graphic design challenge, Xpress-Pixels. So we are still on book covers. Today I'm going to be designing another book cover. So I click my create new. I'm using this size 1748 by 2480. This is it in inches. Create. So this is what we have. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in my resources. So I head over to my resources. I click control control and I drag it into my Photoshop like this. I'm just going to hit enter, enter. I'll close up the eyes of this one and then I'll close up this one. I'll take this, I'll bring this down here. I'll change my background. I'll give it a solid color. I'll give it this and then I'll take it down. Okay, so this is what we have. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to click on this image. I'm going to add a filter. I want to adjust the image a bit. Okay, let me just increase this a little bit. I'll hit enter. Then I head over to filter. I'm going to use camera raw filter. I'll wait for it to load. Okay, now it has loaded up, so I'm just going to take this down. -6 is okay. Then I'll just reduce this as well. -11. Then I'll increase the contrast like this, and then I'll increase the whites. This is okay. I'll reduce the blacks. Okay, this is okay. Then I'll just adjust the texture a little bit, not too much. Okay, this is fine. Then I'll take this a little and then this one as well, the haze. Then I'll just adjust my vibrance like this. Okay, so this is what we have. I'll just click OK. Now this is it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'll just go and get one resource that I didn't add. So I head over to my clouds. I drag this into Photoshop like this and I drop it here. I bring it up here and then I'm just going to edit it very fast. I'm going to go to filter, camera raw filter. Here is it. I'll click on it. I'll wait for it to load. Okay, I'm just going to put in 14, enter, and then for this one I'll reduce it to -73, enter, and then I'll take this to -1.25. Then the next one will be +39. So I'll just do that very fast. So now that I'm done, I'm just going to, you can just copy my settings here and then I'll just click OK. Okay, so this is what we have now. And I'll just click here. Okay, before that, I'm going to add hue and saturation to this image. So I click here. I click on this and then I'm just going to pick hue saturation. Then this will be 34. Enter. Okay, I'll just go here and then clip it to this. This one will be minus 59, enter, and this one will be minus 13, enter. I'm just going to adjust this blue, or adjust this like this. Then I'll just head back to my layers, and then I would just click here. I will change the opacity. I will just use overlay. Let's see which one goes. I'll just use overlay for this. Okay, so this is what we have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to head over to my layers, and then I'll just open up the eyes of this image, and then I head over to select. I'm going to click subject. Okay, I'll wait for it to load. Okay, so I'll just head over to this place, and then I'll make sure it's on plus. After I'm done, I'm just going to click on this to have something like this. Then I just bring this up to this place, then I hold my shift and I compress it a bit like this. Okay, so this is what we have, and then I'm just going to change the color. I'll click this, and then I'll give it a hue and saturation, and then I'm just going to take it to 155, enter. I'll just clip like this. So this is what we have. Okay, let me just adjust it a little bit. Okay, I think this is okay. So I head over to my layers. I'll reduce this. I think it's a bit. I'll reduce this, enter, and then I'm going to reduce this one as well. Okay, I'll hold my shift, and then drag, bring it down like this, enter. Okay, now that we have all these, the next thing I'll do is to add my text. So I just head over to this place, and then I'll just type in the text stranded, caps lock STRANDED. Okay, I'm using big noodle titling. So this is what I have here. I'll just bring this here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to use my shift. I'll hold my shift, and I'll stretch this image. First of all, I'll stretch it a little bit, not too much. Okay, enter. So I'm just going to double click on this, and then I'll edit it very fast. So I head over to drop shadow. Okay, okay, let me see. I'll just reduce the spread, and I'll reduce the size. Okay, so after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to open up my bevel and emboss. This is it. So I will just increase the size a bit, soften. Okay, let's see, increase the depth. Okay, so when I'm done, I'm just going to use inner shadow, not too much. I'll click on this. Let's see. Okay, I'll just leave it at white. Okay, I'll just reduce this. Then I'll just move to, sorry, I'll move to inner glow. Okay, then I'll just leave it this way. I'll head over to my bevel and emboss again. I'm just going to use this. Let's see. Okay, I'll just reduce the depth and I'll soften it just a little bit, not too much. I'll increase the size. Okay, that's too much. I'll just increase this a little. Okay, I'll leave that smooth and I'll leave this at emboss. Then I'll just click OK. Now this is what we have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to click on this and then I'll just increase this like this. I'll increase it this way and then I will reduce the space in between. So I head over to properties, I'll hit enter. I'll just leave it at -20 is fine. So I'll just bring this down here. Then I will make sure it's in between this place. And then I head back to my layers. I'm going to Ctrl J. I'll keep this one side. I don't need it for now. So I just click on this and then I just head over to filter and I'm going to use blur. I'll use Gaussian blur. I'll convert to smart object then so that I can blur it. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have. I'll click OK. Then the next thing I'll do is to click on this. I'll use my brush tool. I'll reduce it. Then I would erase this part. I don't want it to be affected. I'll just leave this middle edge. Okay, so this is what we have. I'll click here and then I'll just use overlay. Then the next thing I'm going to do, this is it. I'll just okay before I Ctrl J, I'll head over to my was it properties? No, I'll double click and then I'll head over to this place that says underlying layer. I'll use my alt key and I'll click this to divide it and then I'll just adjust this. I'll adjust this and then the same thing here. I'll click this to divide it and I'll adjust. Okay, after that I'm just going to click OK. Then the next thing I'll do, I'll Ctrl J this one. After that I'm just going to bring in this. I open up the eyes of this particular image, I click on it and then I'm just going to add a layer mask here. Okay, Ctrl Z. I will just take it to smart objects, then I can add a layer mask and I can use my brush tool to erase. I'll just erase this like this way to have something like this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to this image, before I duplicate it, I'm just going to add my diverse. See it here. I would open up the eyes. I'll click on it. Okay, where is it? This is it. I'll click on it like this and I'll bring it down here. I'll right click and I'll flip horizontal like this and I'll reduce this way. I'll bring this here and I'll hit enter, head over to this place and I'm going to pick overlay. Then I use my alt key, I drag, I rotate this one like this. I'll rotate it this way to be facing forward this way. Increase it not too much. Enter. Then I'm just going to leave it at overlay, or let's see soft light. Okay, I think soft light is fine. Then I'll use my alt, I'll drag, and then I'll try to keep this one. I'll bring this here and I'll hit enter, and I'll reduce this. I'll reduce it a little bit like this, enter. So this is what I have. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring this image. I'm going to click Ctrl J and I'm going to bring it forward. I'll take it forward to this point, to the top. Then I will double click on it to open this, and then I'll also click this alt. I'll hold my alt key and then I'll just drag it like this. Hold my alt, I'll drag, and then I'll hold my alt here, I'll drag, and I'll hold my alt, I'll drag. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, let me put this back. Let's see how it looks. Okay, okay. So after that, I'll just click. Okay, I'll just click enter to have this. Then I'll just click Ctrl J again for the second time to have something like this. Then I'll click on this and I'll click here, and then I will use my brush to fade out these edges. Okay, I'll just close the eyes of this one to see what I'm doing. Something like this. Then I'll open up this one. I'll also fade them out like this. And after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to drop my tool, and then I'll look for this one. Here it is, and then I'm going to add this and I'll fade it, and then I'll just fade off this area like this, not too much. Okay, not too much. Okay, so I'll just adjust this. I'll double click on this, and then I'll change the blend mode to multiply. Okay, I'll just use darken. Okay, this is fine. Then I'll click OK. I'll just close the eyes of this one and I'll Ctrl J. Okay, so this is what we have. And then I'll head over to my stranded. This one, the one beneath. Okay, I'm going to Ctrl J so that it can be visible. So I'm just going to click on this, then I'll hold my control, click on this, and then the last one. Okay, there are only two now, so I'll just take it up a bit. I'll just hit enter. Then I want to make sure my text beneath is visible to some extent. Let me change this to normal. No, let me change it to darken. Okay, so I'll just use multiply for this one, and then for this one I'm going to use multiply. Okay, so I'm using 2 multiply, then this is the normal one, that's the one at the top, and then this is the, so there are 3 down images, this one and this one. Okay, this and this. Then okay, I'll just hold my shift and just bring this down a bit. I'll hit enter. So we have something like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to just add my text. Okay, I'm not using this one, so I'll just delete. Okay, so I'm using one of these, which is up, and I'm using darken for it. Okay, I'll just leave it as darken. Let's see overlay. Okay, I'm using darken for it. Okay, before I add my remaining text, let me just bring this down. So I click on all the stranded, any stranded that I see. I use my shift to this. Okay, I think it's just 4 of them. Click it this way. Okay, this is what I have. Okay, I have something like this. I'll bring this down. Okay, Ctrl Z. I'll click on this and I'll bring it down to this point. Then I'm just going to type my text. Okay, so I'll just erase this, and then I'll say a white knuckle adventure. I'll hit enter. Above and below the sea. I'll be using Times New Roman for this font. So the first thing I'll do is to head over to properties, and then I'm just going to reduce this, and then I'll change this to Times New Roman. This is it, using regular. Then I'm just going to take this to this. Now reduce this, then I'll just bring it here. I'll make sure it's centralized with my stranded. Okay, then I'll just reduce the space in between, and I'll increase it a little bit, not too much, a little bit more. Then I'll increase this to 20. Okay, so I'm just going to type the text. I'll use my Alt key and I'll drag with my shift. I'm holding my shift. I'll drag to this place and I'm going to type Beverley, enter. Scherberger. Okay, this is all I have, and then I'll just increase this way. I increase it like this, and then I'll enter, and I'll increase this like this. Okay, this is okay. I'll make sure it's at the middle this way, and I'll bring this down to make sure is here as well. Okay, so this is what we have. I'll bring this down, enter. Okay, so with that, okay, let me do the mock-up very quickly. I'll just hit my shift Ctrl S to save. I'm going to save it as a JPEG, and I'll say stranded front cover. Okay, we are only going to do the front cover, so I'll wait for it. Okay, then I head over to my resources, downloads. I'll check out for my book resources. This is it, and then I'm just going to open up this one. I'll wait for it to load. Okay, now it has loaded. I head over to layers, then delete this. This is it. So I click on this jacket, double click, and then I'm just going to bring in my image. So I head over to my downloads where I have my image. As this is it. So I drag it and I drop it into Photoshop very fast. So I had to check the size of this mockup so as to enable me use the correct size. Then I head over to this place. I head back to here. You see that it has applied. Then for this edge, I'll just click here, and then I will use this. I'll just drag something here like this. I'll just drag this. I'll just drop this, and then I'll remove the stroke. Then I'll give it a fill. I'll use this. Okay, let me check the color. Okay, 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 this can go. Then I'm just going to write stranded. I'll just write stranded. I'll drop this, and I'll bring this here. Okay, I head over to my layers. I click on it. This is it. I'll click Ctrl T, bring it here, enter. I would change the font. I'm using big this, so I'll change it to this, and then I'll just Ctrl T, and I'll take this to 90. This is it. I'll bring it this way, and I'll increase it like this to fit in with the size of this. So I'll just bring it to the middle. So this is what we have. I'll reduce the spacing in between. Okay, this is okay. Then I'll just click Ctrl S. So I head back to this. As you can see, is applied. Then the last thing I'll do is to change this color here. Head over to my layers. I'm going to change the red. I double click, and then I just click one of these. I'll give it a bright color. I'll click OK. Then I change the background. I double click on this. Okay, this is fine. I'll just click this. Okay, so with that we have come to the end of this particular design. So I will see you in the next design. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.